13 years, 11-time All-Star, best high school player in Texas. Then he was a great college player. Then he was an All-Star, dominant player in Toronto. Then he went to Miami and won a bunch of rings. Good dude, Chris Bosh, joining us in the herd today. Great to see Chris, who now picks up a basketball only with his kids. Listen, you dealt with those blood clot issues that are serious, and the good news is you already had established yourself as a Hall of Fame. This wasn't like year 6 where you would have left dreams on the table. How'd you reconcile all of it? You had basketball left, but dude, you'd given the game a ton, and high school, college, pro, rings, you did a lot.
Yeah, looking back on it, I did do a lot, and I'm very blessed to be able to have those opportunities and then deliver. But, yeah, I mean, it didn't make it an easy decision. I still had to, consult with my family. I had to be upfront and honest about myself, just, remembering that it's hard, this decision to make. And I wanted to play more basketball, as, quite frankly. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've given my life to it, and there were still things, being selfish that I wanted to accomplish in the league,
Yeah, but it should be noted, when you were 9 years old, if somebody would have said you're going to be the best high school player in Texas, you're going to be a Final Four guy, you're going to be 2 rings. If they had a stacked,
didn't get the Final Four.
You didn't get to?
They went to the Final Four after I left, so they got better without me. That's what people always joke about.
But you had a hell of a career, and you're widely respected in the league. Let me ask you about this, and this is not a criticism of LeBron, but LeBron comes into a team, and everybody's got this thing that Anthony Davis is going to come, is all going to be good, and I keep saying this. LeBron has always been good playing with shooters. But I saw Kevin Love. It is tougher with LeBron.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you hanging around the rim because he wants clarity.
Needs open.
He wants it open.
Right.
So, hey, Chris, go stand over there. Now, good news is you were a great shooter. Hey, Kevin, go stand over there. Anthony Davis isn't you as a shooter. I don't know, Chris, if that's a home run, is it?
Well, I mean, it's a home run because Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. He's pretty good.
Yes.
And I tell people this all the time. He was the first player that I knew I couldn't guard him. I don't know if he knew that. So I said, okay, let me get whatever I can out this league before this guy figures it out. He's a great player. He's a phenomenal talent. With talent like that, you figure it out. And that's kind of always been, I guess, my philosophy in moving into things. You can worry about it later. Does he need shooters? Does he not need shooters? Does he need to change his game as he gets older? I don't know, but he's pretty good, and he's pretty good. If they're on a team, they'll figure it out.
Well, D-Wade and LeBron, if you look at their games, were never a perfect fit.
Yeah.
They were almost – LeBron was a bigger D-Wade, which is I'm going to attack the basket.
Right.
They were, to a large degree, D-Wade probably plays bigger than any 6'4" guy ever.
100%.
And LeBron can be a point guard at 6'9.5", so he can shrink if he wants to. So to your point, talent's talent. Could I offer this, though? And this is the way it is. If I had a great singing voice, I'm the late Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
You're my singing coach. There are times I'm actually tougher to coach.
100%. Okay. Of course.
The more LeBron is so gifted, the Swiss Army knife does everything well, that he is harder to coach. He was hard for Eric. He's hard for Luke. He was hard for Blatt. There's a stress that LeBron creates on the coaching staff. What do you do if you have a biblical talent?
I mean, that's if you can answer that, I think they'll give you a coaching job tomorrow. That's just one of the things. I mean, Mike, Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, these were once-in-a-generational talents, and what was the verdict on their coachability? Throughout a career, they're always going to be, rumblings that they're difficult. That's just, what it takes to be a great player. And being a great player, you have to push yourself. You've got to push people. And to be quite frank, nobody likes to be pushed all the time. You know what I mean? So if you're not agreeing with something and there's some sort of tension, it's going to be tension sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just a part of team sports.
I've said before, I think the Miami teams are the smartest teams in league history. Incredibly high functioning. Udonis Haslem, Battier, Wade, LeBron, Ray Allen. It's the smartest team ever assembled. I don't think it's the most gifted. You didn't have a ton of size.
No.
The bench was inconsistent. Mario Chalmers drove me crazy. but it's the highest functioning team cerebrally in my life. And I do believe that LeBron works better with veterans because talented people don't want to be mentors. They want you to figure it out. So he loved you guys. Is it fair to say that Los Angeles, with some quirky one-year deals and kids, it may not be a perfect DNA fit for him?
Look, it's the first year. You know, even me looking at it, I knew that they weren't going to be a super really good team. They have a chance to be good. But looking at the makeup, the guys have to develop. They don't know that there's a whole other level to the NBA. When you bring a superstar into LA out of all places, I mean, it's going to be an atomic bomb that goes off.
Right.
And they haven't been able to really keep up with it. You can't. You know, they're pretty much learning their job on the fly. So with the young guys, there's going to be tremendous swings and ups and downs. You just have to learn about being consistent, and that's what it is about the NBA. And you have to deal with the spotlight. You know, you're in the limelight now. This is what happens in the limelight. It's kind of whack when you find out, but it all comes down to the basketball court at the end of the day, so they have to do their job.
Does Lonzo and LeBron fit to you? They need the ball.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, Alonzo is so unselfish. You know, he's you can tell just getting out on the court, he's like the classic point guard where if you pass to him, he just kicks it up the court. I mean, you have to tell him to be a little bit more selfish. Right. So I think he still has more surfaces of his game that he hasn't even thought of or exposed yet.
When you played with LeBron, it was 4 years. You were a rock tour. You were U2 in their prime. I mean, you were the Stones.
Yeah.
Is it emotionally daunting being on a LeBron team? What is it different? I mean,
no, that's what I mean by that. It's different. It's a spotlight. And I think
when did you first notice it in Miami?
The minute I signed.
The day.
Same day. And then remember the next day the decision happened. And so then it just really went. And then the next day we
you did that.
Had a nice parade. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, like, people didn't like us. And they're like, we didn't plan that. It wasn't like, and I mean, it was awesome. Come on. They had smoke and pyrotechnics and everybody. It was 20,000 people with no basketball game going on. It was like the playoffs.
It was crazy, right?
Yeah, I had a great time. Everybody there had a great time. You know, everybody on the outside looking in, not so much.
But listen, Joy spent time in Miami. I love Miami. And I can remember going to games there. And I've always felt sports is better with good stories. It was a fascinating story. In fact, if you remember, the first couple of years, you guys were villains.
Yeah.
And then I think kind of people joined in when you won, and everybody saw the joy of LeBron. Everybody's like, "That's kind of fun."
Yeah.
But the first year, you were a villain.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the Warriors too. It's like, you know, when KD goes there, but then you look at it, it's like, man, that looks fun. KD dishes to Steph, like, oh. That was a great pass. It's right on the numbers. Steph makes it. They're just so unselfish, moving the ball. Eventually, when you see someone just out there expressing themselves and having fun and playing a team sport, you can't help but be a part of it.
By the way, the Miami Heat are appropriately going to retire your jersey on March 26th. It's a home game against Atlanta. You know, we were talking about, you know, Miami is the Aqua Water, Pat Riley, D. Wade. Then all of a sudden, here comes Chris Bosh, Shane Battier, LeBron James, and it all came together. Tell me something about the NBA that fans listening, you know, I say this all the time, Chris, is that everybody wants to say you guys make a bunch of money. And I say, can you imagine if tomorrow my company traded me to the Bravo network?
Right.
And I got to move my family.
Right.
Like, take my audience a little insight. I know everybody looks at NBA players as rich, but this league does wear you out. I watch LeBron sometimes, and I can sense through body language, he's been doing this, Chris, for 16 years.
For sure.
Do you sense that where is LeBron, do you think now? Is it somewhat business? Is it the mogul stage? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think we've been in the mogul stage for a while. And those are thoughts that the modern athlete now is thinking about, and he's definitely one of the pioneers of that. After seeing Michael Jordan be a successful business person and Magic Johnson amongst other NBA greats, them moving on with their lives, now we're understanding the position that we're in. And you have to do both at the same time. You have to do that and try to deliver on the court, because if you don't deliver on the court, the product is no good.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So it's a delicate balance that you have to figure out. But if you have opportunities to play in the NBA and use your platform for great things, then by all means do it. I don't think it's all the way business, but business is definitely way more into it. Like you say, guys will get traded. Like Tyler Johnson, great friend of mine. It is the business. He's on the road. They're already on the West Coast trip. He gets traded. My wife asked me, what does he do? I said, well, he has 48 hours to report to Phoenix. Point blank.
Called Delta Airlines.
Yeah, hit him. Send my bags. Hopefully they packed everything, and I'll get the rest of my stuff in the summer. That's how it is. Yeah,
you don't miss that part of it?
No, I don't miss it, man. I mean, it's road life, and that's one of the things that kind of helped me in my decision. My kids, everything is cool now because I'm able to work, but I come right back. Right, on those trips, man. They just especially being in Miami, you're going up during the cold weather, and it's an Arctic blast going on, and it's 5 below.
You got aqua water at home.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You get out the pool, and then next thing you know, you're freezing. So it's just it's a tough dynamic to handle when you're living on the road, man.
You had a great career. You're a man with options. You could get into broadcasting. You could go into the front office. You could do a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep those things in mind as I build for the future. But I've got some things coming. I definitely want to be involved with basketball. Continue, to do media stuff. It's fun.
This place
is fun, man.
I've worked at other places. This place is good.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you. I'm not going to get into particular names.
Hey, man, everybody's LeBron is recruiting. That might be.
Doing.
Yeah, you see Magic. Yeah, Magic almost got in trouble for tampering.
I'm tampering right now. I'm tampering with talent.
Of course it's tampering. I tamper too.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.